I bought tickets so you don't have to. From packed stadiums to midnight movie premieres, we're diving into the sights, sounds, and madness of live entertainment. Concerts, films, sports. We go, we watch, we break it all down. This is I Bought Tickets. Let's get into it. Welcome to another edition of I Bought Tickets, where we pretty much break down our review, whether of movies, concerts, art shows, whatever we bought tickets to, we kind of do reviews here. Today we're going to pretty much be doing a review of a concert I went to not too long ago, the Summer Unity concert of the band's Collective Soul live in Our Lady Peace. Good show, crazy show, fun show, a show where Mother Nature decided to have it intervene as well. I guess they wanted their spot on the bill, so we'll kind of discuss that a little bit. But it was a very, let's just say, for it to be my first foray into that type of atmosphere, it was really nice. But just to make sure we kind of stay on track, Austin, go ahead and let you go and kick off and kind of lead this and take us to where we discuss this concert.
So I wanted to know, was this your first experience seeing a rock concert live?
Yeah. So for anybody, give my bit of a history when it comes to concerts. So my first concert was the Drake concert, the Aubrey and the Three Amigos concert back in 2018. And ever since then, I've pretty much gone to strictly hip hop and R&B shows, right? Now, I've wanted to kind of dabble and go to a rock show before. I've had plenty of opportunities, plenty of chances, but I've never quite pulled the trigger on going to a show. Anybody who knows me knows that I've had a affinity for the rock genre for a long time, dating back to my days of, listening to, Radio Disney and whatever came up on there, and obviously discovering, bands from the 90s and the 80s via like the VH1 countdowns, the 100 greatest songs of the 80s and the 90s and things of that nature. But yes, this was my first rock concert. Yeah.
I also wanted to know, how was the sound and energy overall for the show?
It's when you go to a rock show, and I say this as someone, again, who's been to an R&B show, who's been to a hip hop show, there's no playing it cool at the rock concert show. You don't get brownie points for just nodding your head. You know what I'm saying? You don't get brownie points for just B-boy style standing up, right? You got to be in it. You got to commit to it. We there to get rowdy. We there to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, we there to jump up and down, do what we got to do to scream and let it all out. We there to really, like, get it in. So, the crowd it was a really electric atmosphere, to be honest with you. Like, as somebody who went by themselves, I was kind of nervous a little bit as far as, because honestly, that was my first concert going by myself. Let's get that out the way. But I was kind of not sure of where, like, do I belong, right? First, I'm by myself. I'm not a part of, even though I consider I'm a part of this community, I've never gone to a show, so I don't feel like I'm a part of it like that. And I'm black, and I'm going, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not really sure where my place is and if I even fit in, if I stick out like a sore thumb. But the crowd, like any type of environment, it was kind of like a communal atmosphere. Everybody kind of like brought each other in, and it was nice. It was dope.
Did you have any expectations going into this concert?
I had no expectations. Not because I don't have expectations of concerts. I do, but because I genuinely had no idea what to expect. Right? I did no research on watching any of these groups live because I didn't want that tainted anything. So I did not really know what to bring. Right? I had no clue how they were going to sound. I didn't look up any reviews or anything like that, which is kind of uncommon for me. I'm somebody who kind of likes to know what I'm getting. Only thing I really did, the only kind of research I did beforehand was kind of look at the set list, right? I kind of want to make sure, because there are some songs by each, bands that like, you better sing this, don't play with me now. So I want to make sure that, I was getting my money's worth. But no, I had no clue what I was getting myself into.
So when did you first discover this band, and why did you choose to want to go see them live?
So my discovery of these bands varies. So when it came to live specifically, I remember I discovered live when I was watching the VH1 100 Greatest Songs of the 90s countdown. Their song "I Alone" was on there, and I remember the video because the lead singer Ed, I forgot to pronounce, like Kowalczyk, forgot to pronounce his name, but he's like doing this thing in the video where he's kind of like, it feels like he's trying to get water out of his ear, and I was like, okay, this song "I Alone" kind of fire. So then I kind of like looked into more of their songs, and that's when I discovered Lightning Crashes, Selling the Drama, Dolphin Cry, things of that nature. Collective Soul, I'm a bit confused on when exactly I discovered Collective Soul, but I do know when it comes to these bands in general, when it comes to rock and alternative rock in general, the genesis for me specifically, and as far as when they really exploded, came because of this now defunct radio station. It was Gen X Radio here in St. Louis. It only lasted for a couple of years, but shout out to my mom. I guess to kind of like shut me up when I was in the car. She would let me kind of control the radio, and I think it was 100.3, I believe, Gen X Radio. And I got to listen to all those songs. And the Collective Soul had a couple of songs on there that played on kind of routine basis. Shine, December, things of that nature. The World I Know. So that's kind of my foray. So about early for live, I would say middle school, and for Collective Soul, high school.
Okay. And I really want to know this one because since it rained, how was the live performance? How was the crowd during all that? Did that kill the mood? Did it like make people go crazier? Like, how was it? Just come on, just tell us.
Look, dog, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I get there, right? And I'm walking in, not sure what's going on, right? And first thing I get there, because I'm nervous. I don't know why, but I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous, but I'm nervous, right? So you know what you do when you're nervous? You drink. So I bought like this big, like, you would thought I was on Bill Street. Like I bought this big margarita looking thing to kind of calm myself. It was gone by the time I sat down. I ain't gonna cap. And like, you're looking at the sky. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I don't like that. And before a note is even hit, before a guitar is even strung, the rain just starts to come on down. And I was jinxed by somebody that I spoke to earlier because I had never been to this venue. The concert took place at the Hollywood Ampitheatre out here in Maryland Heights, Missouri, and I had never been to this venue. And a guy I'm friends with at my job was like, I was like, I was thinking about the forecast is saying it may rain tonight. You think I'll be all right? He'll, yeah, man. Like there's this huge covering. It's not just this big open thing. Like there is an overhead. So as long as you're not at the far back, because there's no protection back there, you should be all right. I said, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I don't have. I think when he said far back, my dumb ass thinking he meant like the lawn, because there's a lawn, you can buy lawn seats. I didn't think he meant like there's like a couple rows that aren't covered. I give you one wild guess. If you think my black ass at? Give one guess. I was like 2 to 3 rows. I was like the first row behind the covering. So the covering's here, I'm here. So the rain hit me, draining me. I was swimming. Like at one point it felt like I was at Six Flags. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting I'm getting hit, getting drenched. And I was sitting next to these guys, and everybody just started moving up. So I'm moving up too. And at that point, it felt like Final Destination, because the rain went from like this to like going like this. Like it followed me up the road. Like, nah, like, come here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a job to do. It's Final Destination. You dodged me once. I'm coming to get you again. And I thought that was going to kill the vibe. I really did. Nobody ran. Everybody stayed, right? We all moved up. We all holded up because lightning started to strike. Lightning crashes. And that was like a warning sign, which I'd never seen before. It's like, everybody move up. Everybody come under the cover, and we're going to postpone the concert, which kind of made me nervous. But everybody stayed, man. Everybody just kind of hunkered in. Everybody just kind of get in where you fit in. And that's how I knew the concert was going to be different. Because at rock shows, it's kind of like, hey, man, this is how we get down. It don't matter. Like, rain, sleet or snow, whatever, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I know Woodstock, they had the mud back in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, with 9 Inch Nails. Like, it don't matter. This is how we get down. We came to get rowdy. We came to have fun. You're not gonna come unscathed. You're gonna get a lick when you leave this show. Point blank, period. So I kind of felt like I earned my stripes. But it brought us together, believe it or not.
So that brings me to another question. So which song got the best reaction from the crowd, like that each band played?
So the first band that came on was Our Lady Peace, and they're the opener, and they're a Canadian band. Shout out to my boy Tyler. And I only knew one song from My Lady Peace, and it was Somewhere Out There. that's what I was waiting on. They had some songs. They had some songs that was good, but I wasn't really too familiar with. But Somewhere Out There was one I was waiting for. But the song that got the biggest reaction from them was a song called Superman's Dead, and I had never heard of it, but like I liked it, right? Like sometimes when you see, one of the beauties about concerts is when you get like an unexpected surprise from an artist you really didn't come to see, right? And that's kind of was what Our Lady Peace when they played Superman's Dead. I'm like, damn, okay, okay, the crowd going rowdy for this. Okay, this must be one of them. Everybody stood up. You know how it is. Everybody sitting down, and then the band plays the song everybody knows, and everybody gets up, and everybody got up for Superman's Dead. And I was just like, okay, yeah, man. Y'all know. I sent it to y'all. I put it in, I sent it while I was there in real time because that song was fire. But that song probably got the loudest pop there. For live, it's kind of tough because live has a lot of big records, right? Their album Throwing Copper from the 90s sold 8 million copies. Live was not some small hidden band in the 90s. Like they were one of, for a particular time period, they were up there, right? They were selling just as many units as anybody else. As Smashing Pumpkins, as No Doubt, outselling them, to be honest with you. Alice in Chains, you know what I mean? So they were a big band. So probably I Alone is either I Alone or Lightning Crashes got the biggest pop, but definitely I Alone. Actually, a fun kind of tidbit from the show. So they're playing the songs, they're playing their song, yada yada yada, playing their songs, and then they just leave the stage. So I'm thinking, I know for a fact, and I told these guys next to me, they better be coming back out. I said that to these dudes next to me, they better be coming back out because they didn't play the Dolphins Cry, they didn't play Lightning Crash, they didn't play I Alone, and I'm like, okay, they better play these songs. They play some other records. They play Selling the Drama, which was cool. They play I think it was Lakini's Juice, whatever. So Lakini's Juice. I never knew how to pronounce that record, but they didn't play the big dogs. I'm like, what? I'm like, they just gonna leave? Like, well, come on now. But then they came back out. So it was like a little bit of a tease. You know what I'm saying? Some rock foreplay, I guess. They came back out and they played those records. But those two got the biggest pop. And then probably for Collective Soul, Shine. That's their biggest record. That's the record that people wanted to hear. The one I was waiting for was The World I Know, and I thought it was really cool. They actually played the music video behind them while they were performing, which was cool because The World I Know is a very like uplifting song or whatever. It's sort of like, it's not like Jumper. If you never heard the song Jumper by Third Eye Blind, it's sort of like that. But like the guy is literally about to jump in the video. He's literally about to jump off, you know what I mean? And a bird lands on him. It's like dark. The video's like gray. They're like in gray. And then like it turns to color, right? So like The World, right? The World I Know, right? Goes from, it can be darkness one time and it can be beautiful and light the other. So that got a really big pop, especially for me, you know what I mean? But those records. Also, before I forget, Our Lady Peace, another song that got a pop accidentally was when Our Lady Peace played for the first time. I don't know if it was the first time out on this tour, but probably in this tour in general. But in 20-some years, they played the theme to Chris Benoit wrestling theme, right? Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. And that theme, you know what I'm saying? I remember I told y'all when I heard that theme, I felt like headbutting somebody off, off the top of the amphitheater, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that. I forgot. I didn't even know that little bit that they were the ones who sang his theme, you know what I'm saying? So obviously for obvious reasons they didn't play it, but that got a pop as well because everybody's like, oh shit, damn, that's y'all? That was kind of cool.
So what would you say is like your favorite moment or a moment that just gave you chills? Mm-hmm. If you didn't have that, what was your favorite song they performed?
The moment that gave me chills. I can't remember the song, I'll be honest with you, but it was Collective Soul, and they played some new record, and it was like very like, I don't know, like positive. I don't know how to describe it. You ever like, we're wet, we got rained on, we're like 4 hours into this show. It's cold a little bit. And yeah, everybody's killing it, but it's like, okay, like, and they played like this really upbeat new record, and it kind of like kind of like closed it kind of like got us transfixed for a minute. It kind of made everybody happy, kind of made everybody smile. I wish I could remember the record. It's a new record, right? You know what I mean? When it comes to music, when people go, off a new record, everybody kind of go, all right, you know what I'm saying? But like it kind of brought it, people, they did the whole flat, everybody took their lights out, became lit up the whole venue. It was really dope. It was really cool. So that moment kind of brought it was dope.
Yeah, that's really cool. Mm-hmm. My final question for you is, would you see any of these bands, even if they don't go on tour together, would you go see them again?
I wouldn't see Live again because I feel like I got what I needed out of them. I wouldn't see Collective Soul because I got what I needed out of them. I would see Our Lady Peace by themselves. I would love to see even extended because they was in and out. They was like here, Superman's dead, somewhere out there. Chris Benoit, remember him? And then everybody good night, and they just left. I was like, damn, they got like 6 songs in. Like it was boom, 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 boom. We out of here. So I would see them on a solo show. I wouldn't see the other two because I got what I needed, but I would definitely see Our Lady Peace again on their own. But if there are any more questions, that's all we have for you guys today. Before I go with this being, a concert review, give a shout out, or not a shout out, but news broke today. The legendary rock icon Ozzy Osbourne, former lead singer of Black Sabbath, hits like Crazy Train and Iron Man and things of that nature, passed away today, succumbing to Parkinson's. Obviously, he had his farewell show a couple weeks ago. So, rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne. Crazy dude. Everybody know he bit the bat and all that kind of stuff. Everybody know him from Ozfest, and anybody who grew up, especially my age range, he had his own the Osbournes and all that kind of stuff. But he is a legendary rocker. And he rock in peace. But anyway, man, that's all we have for you guys today. Again, as we discussed last episode, we got a lot more for you, a lot more reviews for you. Because again, if you bought tickets to it, we'll review it. Peace.